Hey, good morning, unicorns, and welcome to PE. We are starting a new unit today. We're starting a new unit for our kindergarten first graders and then second through fifth graders as well. And we're going to be working on tossing and catching with our little ones, and then on up to our older students, it will be throwing and catching. So you're going to learn through this unit that throwing, tossing is usually just your arm and your hand. Throwing involves your whole body to really get the most out of the distance and also the accuracy and the speed that you need the objects to move. So that's going to be for older students. The reason we're working on something similar for our kindergartners through fifth graders is because a lot of our tossing and catching and throwing and catching are going to involve more than one person. There are some things that you can do that are throwing and catching by yourself. But it really is going to be great if you can have somebody else that you're working on this with. And I know at your house, unless you're a twin, you probably don't have somebody that's the same age of you within your house to work with. It's going to be somebody a different age, whether it's mom or dad, older brother and sister, or younger brother and sister. We want to do some things that allow our families to work together on these skills, similarly to the way that we might work on them in PE, except we would have people that are same age. So it's going to vary. It's got what we use to toss and catch it's going to be different. The place that we practice, whether it's indoor or outdoor, is going to depend a lot on your age. We want to make sure that safety comes first, and the objects that we use to work with are going to vary a whole lot. So last week, I know with our younger kids, our kinder through second grade, we did a lot working with bean bags, or in your house, you may have been using sock balls because they're fairly easy to squeeze and catch. And the benefit of the bean bag is that it does have some weight in it. So it does fall normally. I'm going to show you some things here where you can alter that. If you're younger or if you're older, you can alter the tools that you're using and be able to make it work for you and have that challenge. During our activities that I'm going to present to you later on today and through this unit, you're going to hear me say, press pause and play. What that means is I don't want you to press the pause button and then right after that, press play again to start it. I want you to press pause and I want you to play with your object and try what I just showed you. And you could try it for as long as you need to get that skill, get that repetition. You may start out not catching it. You may drop it a whole lot. You may need some time to set up. That's okay. One of the great things about virtual learning is you get to control the speed of learning. Through pressing pause and pressing play, you get your time to work on something until you get it down. Then you come back to your device and you will press play so that you can see the next skill you're going to work on. And then you'll hear me say, press pause, press play. That means pause, go play your activity, and then come back for the next one. So you control the speed of learning. That's one of the greatest things with virtual learning is that you get to control that pause button and work on your skills alone or with somebody in your house until you get those things set. All right, boys and girls, so I shifted the focus of the camera so that you can see some things that are here on this table. Because as I said, if you're in fifth grade, fourth grade, third grade, it's going to vary a whole lot from what is going on in kinder, first, and second. But if you are working with somebody that is a different age in your house, we need to do some things so that we can make it safe for everybody and that everybody gets their skills. So I'm going to show you that right now. Last week, the bean bag and the sock ball were something that we were using a whole lot. Remember the sock ball? To make a sock ball, you just tuck your sock inside the ankle part and get it as much in the shape of a ball as you can. I have those in the middle of our table because that's where a lot of our younger students need to be working. But we're going to show some ways that we can change this up a little bit if students need a little bit less of a challenge so that they can develop, or if they need more of a challenge over to this side of the table. So we're starting here, beanbag and sock ball. You might see me demonstrate with that. If it's really, really easy for you, you're going to move to something in your house that's similar to these objects. If it's really, really hard and you're finding that you're not able to catch it or that it's hitting you when it's coming down, we don't want anybody being scared of an object or getting hit in the head with something that doesn't feel good. We're going to move this way. so that everybody gets to work on their skills. So we've talked about these two. Something I do a lot, if I see that students are really struggling, kindergartners, first graders, if this is really hard for you to toss and catch, and I mean even if you're just tossing it up a little bit and it's really hard, it's hitting the floor a whole lot, you might want to step back a little bit. Here at the school, what I would do is I would give you a scarf like this. What's nice about a scarf is you can kind of wad it up a little bit if you want, but it falls really slow, so it allows you to get that toss and catch going. You don't want to stay working here a long time. You'd want to do this sometimes, and then you would want to quickly try and move back over here. But you're saying, you know what, Coach? I don't have a scarf at my house. I don't have something like that. What I have maybe is like a paper towel. Check with Mom and Dad if you're going to do this. What you can do with the paper towel is you can wad it up gently and then bring it back out, wad it up, bring it back out. Be careful so it doesn't tear because you want it to be in one piece. But what we're doing is we're making it less papery and more like cloth. We're making it to where it'll bend easy. And voila, now that you have wadded that up, you have something that you can toss and throw similar to that scarf I had. So something you can do at home. Let's say that we want to move more towards a ball, but we're working inside. We want to do all the things that involve throwing and catching, but or more just throwing, but we're worried about breaking stuff in the house. Don't break anything in the house. Tell Mom and Dad need to see this. I said don't break anything in the house. We have an alternative. These balls over here, they're hard, they can break things, they can hurt people. So maybe I've got this piece of paper from last week. It was going to go to the recycle bin. I am going to do something better than recycling. We know we're supposed to reduce, reuse, or recycle. I am going to reuse. I am going to take this piece of paper. I'm going to wad it up gently, and I have something that will fit like a ball in my hand. Now I have something that I can throw. Similarly, I would to any of these balls. I call it a low fly ball because it doesn't fly very far, but I can do all my mechanics of throwing and it won't break anything and it won't go really far away. It would be a safe thing that I could do inside, and I would get pretty much the same as all these other items you see in here, but without the weight, okay? That's the only thing that's different is these have a lot more weight. As we move older, things like a koosh ball, something like this, it still fits in my hand, so I can still do my one-hand toss and catch activities. I can feel it, and the middle of it is smaller. This is a fairly easy ball to catch as we move forward. I might move towards something like this. It's a star, but it's squishy, it's a stress ball. This could be a good way to move up from a beanbag towards something else to toss and catch. I might move towards something like this fuzzy ball. Again, it's kind of like the scarf. It's really lightweight, so it falls a little bit slower, and I can squeeze it to catch it. It's lightweight. Then I get a little bit bigger, a little bit harder on this ball, but still squeezable. Tennis balls are great. They're really good for things where I have to work alone on tossing and catching because they bounce back. Later on, I'm going to show you how you can use a wall if you're working alone and you need to work on your catching. There's a way that you can use a hard wall as something that you throw to and it comes back, and you actually get to work on your catching even if you're working alone. A little bit harder than that and kind of rubbery, it still squeezes. We use these a lot for hockey when we're in the gym. And last but not least, if you're really up there, a lot of our fifth graders may be working there, something like a baseball might be where you'd be working at. It's smaller, fits inside the hand. You can do a lot of our one-handed activities that we're doing and still get a challenge out of it. Now, we wouldn't be working with our kindergarten or first grade or maybe even second grade brother and sister with this ball, because if they miss it and it hits them somewhere sensitive, it is going to hurt. And we're not about one of those, if there's no pain, there's no gain. We're not like that. We want people to work at their level and feel safe. So especially with our little brothers and sisters, even moms and dads, the object should be something that could hit them somewhere around their face and not hurt. It might be scary and they might cry a little bit, but we want to get past that. We want to get to where our students control the objects all the way, even our little friends, they get control and they're not scared, so that they can continue to develop and keep their eyes on the objects we're working with.